All right, let's get into it. So, Eye Candy centers on tech genius Lindy, a 21-year-old woman who is persuaded by her roommate, Sophia, to begin online dating. Unfortunately, she begins to suspect that one of her suitors might be a deadly cyber stalker. She teams up with her friends, a band of hackers, to solve the murders he committed while unleashing her own style of justice on the streets of New York City in an attempt to find her younger sister, Sarah, who has gone missing. Here's the cast. Victoria Justice as Lindy Sampson, a brilliant hacker who dropped out of MIT after her sister was kidnapped and moved to New York City to look for her. Kiersey Deidrick, Detective Tommy Callaghan, that's who he plays, an officer at the NYPD who was working with Lindy and one of Lindy's love interests in the series. Harvey Guillen as George Reyes, Lindy's co-worker, good friend, and confidant. Kiersey Clemons as Sophia Preston, Lindy's roommate and best friend. John Garet Stoker as Connor North, Sophia's best friend and Lindy's frenemy. Jordyn DiNatale as Sarah Sampson, Lindy's younger sister who goes missing. And then there's a whole bunch of other names, and these people are recurring characters and guest stars, whatnot. Daniel Lissing as Ben Miller, a late detective in the cyber crimes unit who fell in love with Lindy. Now, I gotta tell you, so when I first heard of this show, I thought it was a completely different type of genre. Just from the cover, it almost looked like something that was like a drama or romance type thing. But once I looked it up, I see it's a crime drama. It's a thriller, suspense. It's a mystery. And of course, as I talk about on this show all the time, that's kind of my thing. That's my genre. So I decided to check it out. And I got to say, the time was worth it. It's not on any of the major streaming services right now. It's available to buy on YouTube, Apple TV, Vudu, Amazon Prime, and Google Play Movies and TV. And some of the reviews on the show are pretty decent. Common Sense Media gave it 60%. Internet Movie Database, 70%. Rotten Tomatoes, 78%. And among Google users, we have about 85%. And here's what some of them had to say. Really interesting premise. The leads, Victoria Justice and Kiersey Deidrick, bring this cyber series to life. Should have gotten another season. One of the best series I've watched so far, and I'm still wondering why this series was canceled with Victoria Justice as a leading lady. As a leading lady, the series was just perfect. It was kind of worded wrong, but I got the gist. A great show that I have seen, and it really stunk that there was only one season. If there were multiple, this would be a hit show for sure, because I got all my friends and family into it. Suspense is an understatement. I could not stop watching. I'm so bummed they stopped after the first season. I love this show. Lindy is so smart, and she's really good. I really want to watch it because it really looks like a good show. It's 2021, and I'm still not over it. I got betrayed. Where's my second season? LOL. Okay, so the show came out in 2015. There was only 10 episodes. It ran from, I think, January to March or something like that, or February to May, or it was somewhere in early 2015. And sadly, MTV canceled it. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Let's look at the viewership per episode. When the show first started off, it was at 590,000 viewers. The next few episodes had viewers between 630,000 to 600,000. The sixth episode got 710,000. The 8th, 9th, and 10th episodes got between 530 and 580,000. So the numbers didn't really drop that much. I mean, it just kind of fluctuated. I was just looking up another show, and I can't remember which one it was, but there was one show that I looked up where, and I want to say it was Accused, has 8 episodes. The first episode has 8 million viewers, and the episode right after that has 2 million, but they're still going to keep that going. So I don't know if it's just different networks, different set of policies, and different levels of expectancy, or however that works. I mean, I don't work for the networks. I don't know the details and how it works. I just watch the shows if they're interesting. So that's basically what that is. The show started off with Lindy and her sister Sarah, They were driving. She got out the car. I think they stopped at some fast food place or whatever. She got out the car. She stood a distance, and she was attacked and brought into a car and drove off, and she was missing for 3 years. And I'm going to spoil this a little bit just to put some context here. At the end, she sees that she catches a surveillance video of a car releasing Sarah from the car, of somebody releasing Sarah from the car. And she just has this surprised look on her face, and then it just cuts to the end. Again, it's incredibly disappointing. And I've talked about this so many times, and I've said this in almost every video. They made the same mistake. They did this mess when it came to the end game, when it came to One of Us is Lying, when it came to A Teacher. It's when you have a show that has an ongoing plot, that's a serial drama, a serial story. You can't just end it in the middle of the story. We want to know what happened. Now, from what I see right here, keep in mind the show was 2015, so there's a section on fandom that says teasing season 2. The premise of season 2 would consist of Lindy uncovering secrets about her sister and her father. Taylor teased that Lindy and Sarah's father would be linked to a big conspiracy that will be explored. He also teased that if renewed for a second season, Tommy and Lindy's relationship would be explored. However, the development of the Tommy-Lindy relationship from a romantic angle was undecided. Cancellation. April 18th of 2015, Victoria Justice tweeted that she and the cast were notified that Eye Candy would not be returning for a second season and thanked her fans. Before the show was canceled, fans of the show petitioned the network executives to give the series a second chance. However, MTV was not convinced. Prior to the end of season 1, viewers petitioned to have the series canceled immediately due to the sexualization of violence against women. MTV has yet to explain why Eye Candy was canceled, but many speculate it was due to low ratings and a poor storyline. There was another petition underway for a second season wherein fans hoped to reach 25,000 signatures to convince MTV, but it has since been closed. Okay. Wow. I just feel that at this point, here's the thing. I can understand a show getting canceled if it loses a significant amount of viewers. When the Endgame first started, it had about 4.5 million viewers per night. And then closer to the end of the season, it got down to 1.5 million. So they lost 3 million people. And that was an NBC show. So NBC decided, nope, it's going down. And they canceled it. And they left it on a huge cliffhanger where there was at least 10 unanswered questions. Did this person actually die, or was this person behind it? Blah, blah, blah. Something like that I can understand as far as the numbers. But just based on the numbers that I gave you here, each episode was between 500,000 and 600,000, or one of them was between 500,000 and 700,000 viewers. Those numbers aren't that far apart compared to losing 3 million. They lost a couple 100,000 viewers. But like I said, I don't know. I don't work for the networks. Maybe MTV just has a different standard than NBC does. ABC, TBS, CBS, Fox. I mean, whatever. They have different standards, I guess. I really, really want to comment on this part, and let's hope I don't get banned. I'm going to be as careful with this as possible. Now, it says, prior to the end of season 1, viewers petitioned to have the series canceled immediately due to the sexualization of violence against women. Well, I'm glad they got what they wanted. Now, again, people, I talk about crime shows in here all the time. I mean, I talk Criminal Minds, I talk Law and Order, and of course there's all of the horror films where you have, of course there's many female victims, but there's also many male victims as well with a lot of these shows and movies. And I don't think that it's glorified. Okay, that's why the people who do it in the show, that's why they're prosecuted and indicted and most of the time convicted or sometimes shot dead, depending on the situation. So I don't know why they saw it as this is glorifying women or glorifying, violence against women. I don't know. I didn't see it that way, but you guys would have to watch the show yourself to kind of make your own opinion, make your own judgment. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the show a I give it about an 8. I have to say that, about an 8. I would give it a much higher number if they tied up the loose ends and actually, reconnected with her sister and she got all the answers, and I would have brought it up to at least a 9. So other than that, Kiersey, Deidrick, Victoria Justice, Jordyn, DiNatale, just all of you, congratulations. But thanks for giving us another good piece of entertainment. So unfortunately, there will not be a second season. So that's the end of that. So anyway, check the show out.